What's up everyone, this is Austin Wood for GameZone.com. Today I want to talk to you about April 12th, one of the biggest days in gaming this year. We've got the Ratchet & Clank remake coming out on PS4, Dark Souls 3 coming out on PS4, Xbox One and PC, and new content in GTA Online coming to all platforms. On top of that, Destiny and its spiritual competitor The Division are both getting big April updates. Now these aren't actually DLC expansions, but both games are going to change quite a bit, so in this video we're going to go over exactly how, starting with The Division. The Division Update 1.1 is all about making the game bigger. New challenges, more gear, more stuff to do when you log on. The biggest addition here is Falcon Lost, the game's first incursion. Incursions are basically the raids of The Division, the highest level PvE challenges. Destiny's Nightfall Strikes are another good comparison, if only because wiping in Falcon Lost means restarting the whole thing. Falcon Lost is balanced for teams of 4, and it comes in a hard mode and a challenge mode. To play the hard mode, it's recommended that you have a gear score of 30. To play the challenge mode, you're required to have a gear score of 31 or higher. And if you're wondering, gear scores work exactly like light levels in Destiny. Better gear means higher numbers. Falcon Lost will support matchmaking, but you'll still probably want to play with friends or at least people you trust so you can really communicate and strategize. Challenge mode is apparently pretty tough, even the lead devs at Ubisoft have had a hard time clearing it. Needless to say, Falcon Lost will be one of the best sources of high-end gear going forward. You're guaranteed rewards every time you beat it, plus you'll get a reward every week for beating it at all. And while we're talking about weekly rewards, let's talk about the new assignments. Assignments are little side challenges that reward you with materials, money, and gear. There will be daily and weekly assignments, much like Destiny's bounties, which should help keep your stocks up. Which is a good thing, because crafting is going to be a lot harder. For starters, you'll get fewer materials from deconstructing items, and on top of that, crafting new items will require more materials, so crafting gear is going to be slower going. Thankfully, getting gear from drops is going to be much easier, especially for high-end stuff, since all level 30 plus named enemies will have a 100% chance of dropping a high-end gear piece. We're also getting lots of new gear to collect, including the Division's first gear sets, which provide additive bonuses based on how many set pieces you have equipped. The Sentry's Call, Tactician's Authority, Striker's Battle Gear, and Path of the Nomad sets can be found in Falcon Lost, the Dark Zone, Challenges, and its blueprints. We'll also have 3 exotic weapons to hunt: the Warlord Assault Rifle, Valkyria Submachine Gun, and Historian Marksman Rifle, although the Historian won't be available until Update 1.2. Completing those sets is also going to be much easier thanks to the new trading system. Update 1.1 lets you drop trade items with your teammates on a few conditions. You can only trade an item within 2 hours of getting it as a drop, and you can only trade it to teammates who are with you when you got the drop. It's kinda strict, but when your friend gets that item you really need to finish your set, or vice versa, trading is going to be really nice regardless. Finally, we're getting something else to fight over in the Dark Zone in the form of supply drops. Supply drops will only be delivered once every hour, so getting to them is going to be like running with the bulls. You don't have to extract the gear you get from supply drops to claim it, and you don't lose it on death, so the first one there wins. In other words, supply drops are going to be a race to claim more than a fight to defend. You can find more details on the Division Update 1.1 linked below, but we've pretty much covered all the basics, so let's go ahead and move on to Destiny's April update. Right, so if the Division's update is making it bigger, Destiny's update is making it better. Lots of new content, but mostly updates layered over existing content to revitalize the world a bit. First up, some new story missions set in the Reef, in which we'll be fighting more Taken alongside the Awoken. We're also getting new bounties and a new Moonstrike, dubbed the Blighted Chalice, along with an updated version of the fan-favorite Winter's Run Strike complete with new Taken enemies. The Prison of Elders is also getting an overhaul and will now offer a level 41 mode with new bosses. Additionally, the prison is getting Challenge of the Elders, something of a back-to-back boss lightning round. New gear is another highlight of the update, which comes with a light increase from 320 to 335 and a Taken-themed armor set and sword. 335 light gear will now drop from the hard mode King's Fall raid, as well as the Prison of Elders, Trials of Osiris, and Iron Banner. We're also getting another wave of updated Year 1 weapons. For exotics, we've got the Queenbreaker's Bow, Lord of Wolves, Patience in Time, and Universal Remote all getting Year 2 status. Some old legendaries are coming back as well, including the Lord High Fixer, Shadow Price, Two to the Morgue, Longbow Synthesis, and the Comedian. These Year 2 upgrades will drop up to 330 life, so you'll have to infuse them to max them out, so it's a good thing Infusion is also getting a much needed update. Infusion will now offer 1-to-1 upgrades, meaning infusing a 335 light item will always boost the infused item to 335, whether you start at 310 or 200. No more complicated math or gambling on infusions, just upfront, straight up 1-to-1 upgrades. Destiny's also getting some weekly rewards of its own in the form of Sterling Treasures, loot boxes that are pretty similar to faction packages. You can get 3 free treasures each week, one just by logging in, one for playing the weekly Crucible playlist, and one for completing the weekly level 41 Prison of Elders. If you want, you can also buy Sterling Treasures for real money at the Eververse Trading Company. And since we ended our look at the Division with the Dark Zone, let's end our look at Destiny with the Crucible. Once again, loot is a key word here. Crucible players will get more legendaries across the board, as well as more frequent and higher light drops in Trials of Osiris and Iron Banner. Another round of weapon balancing is also on its way. Pretty much every weapon type is changing to an extent, so if you want the fine details, check out the links below. The main highlights are changes to special and heavy ammo. Special ammo spawns are going to be much rarer, so you'll want to spend your starting ammo wisely. Meanwhile, heavy ammo will only spawn at the 5-minute mark in most game types, excluding exceptions like Trials of Osiris and Mayhem modes. As for classes, Warlock is being totally reworked with some buffs to Voidwalker, nerfs to Sunsinger's ridiculous melee range, and slight Stormcaller tweaks. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that about wraps up things for the Division and Destiny's big April updates. Don't forget to check out the links below for more information. Once again, this has been Austin Wood for GameZone.com. Thanks for watching.
Heavy ammo available.